Good evening, welcome back. I'm sure you have seen 2 previous videos. If not, pause this, go back and watch it, because this is a series. You can't just pick from in between and you can, anyone can, but they'll be better in terms of understanding if you go from video 1 to 2 and then to 3. So pause this, watch earlier videos. If you have already watched, continue watching this. Okay, today we are going to talk about the myths. So we talked about what is BIM, we talked about benefits of BIM. Now the last in the trilogy is misconception, related around BIM. I'll start with biggest and funniest misconception, which is there, and it's there since 1984, when the first version of BIM software came on a computer, personal computer. Since then, this first misconception is going around, and that is BIM limits your design thinking. This is one of the biggest misconceptions. If BIM has power to limit somebody's design thinking, that means that person was not capable of designing itself. This is like telling somebody that if you use Google Maps, you will forget driving. This is telling someone that if you don't cycle every day, you will forget cycling. I don't think so. As an architect, as a designer, and as somebody who is with BIM since years, I don't think any correlation or anything in this statement that if you go BIM way, it limits your design thinking. No, it doesn't. It doesn't. If you go software way, it can define or limit your design thinking. There is a difference. BIM doesn't limit your design thinking. You're over love with one particular software, or getting driven by one marketing drive that this software is BIM and BIM is only this software kind of a thing, will or might limit your design exploration. But BIM overall, as a drive, as a philosophy, as a concept, does not have any side effect or direct effect or indirect effect on design thinking. So biggest misconception burst. If you are in over love with one company's car, you probably end up having that car only in your garage, and you will not explore other cars that okay, this car might be having good suspension, this will have good music, this will have good comfort, this is good drivability, this is good ground clearance, and what I want is good ground clearance. So that is my car. That is not limiting yourself. But if you are saying that no, I will use this car only because this is the best car, because I was told by somebody that this is the best car, then there is a problem. Then that will limit your exploration also and your design thinking also. Myth number 2. BIM is useful only on large scale project or small scale project or mid scale project. Again, completely wrong notion. BIM has nothing to do with size and scale of project. If you think that your software is not capable enough to do BIM on large scale project, take a break, pause, figure out. Ask someone to do BIM audit for you. Probably you are doing wrong in implementing BIM, or probably you have not implemented BIM. You just purchased the software and started using it. Something is seriously wrong, because in my experience of last 16-17 years with BIM, I have seen a 5,000 square feet building project getting done on BIM, and a 5 lakh, 10 lakh, 25 lakh square feet building project getting done on BIM. So I have not seen, I have seen heritage buildings getting, rebuilt, renovated using BIM. I myself did my thesis on conservation, architecture thesis, and in one of the BIM softwares. So I don't think that BIM will limit your size of scale of project or anything. If it does, that means you have to take a pause and get your BIM audit done. I can talk about BIM audit if you want me to talk more about BIM audit and what is it, post in the comment section, probably sometime in my upcoming videos I'll talk about BIM audit also. So since we are on it, any topic that you want me to cover, post and comment, I'll take up that topic. I'll try and accommodate that in my calendar so that I talk about that topic. Coming back to misconception. Another misconception is BIM is only useful for architecture projects and not interior design projects. Biggest myth in India. I am not going to talk about names of the companies here, but I can talk about examples. I can give examples. I have example of a corporate interior design company doing 5 million square feet of project paperless on BIM. Completely paperless. The company is based out of Bombay. Their project is done in India. Even contractors are Indian. So there are many small sub myth also around this myth that I will be doing BIM. How my contractor will go paperless. But I can tell you, I have been there, I have been part of their process. Their contractors have also gone paperless. So interior design firm going paperless on BIM. Another example is one of the companies, again in India, into hospitality design, using BIM for hospitality interior design. So that is also a misconception that BIM cannot do interior design. Interior designers cannot be on BIM. Misconception. Busted. If you want to know more about these companies, post and comment, write an email to me. Probably I'll answer you on a personal email. So this is done. 5th misconception. BIM is very costly. I don't know from where this cost thing comes to us, Indian especially. I am also from Gujarat, so I am representing a region where there is a conception that cost is very important for all the Gujus out there. But what is this concept of cost? How will you define what is costly and what is not? Is iPhone Pro Max something costly or not? Is some SUV which you are purchasing for personal use, is it costly or not? If it is not costly, or if it is costly, how you define what is high cost, low cost? There should be some parameter. So if you think, or if you have this misconception as BIM is very costly, then let me demyth or just break this for you. When you think about BIM, switching to BIM, there are aspects. One is the software, the cost related to software itself. You should think, is it subscription, perpetual? If it is subscription, what is your ROI at the end of 3rd year, 5th year? If it is perpetual, what is your ROI? What is your comparison with other softwares, costs? What is cost that you are saving if you switch to that software? So sometimes when you switch to BIM software, what you can save on is 2D plus 3D plus render plus this plus that plus outsource kind of a cost. So consider all those costs. Also, when you are considering cost, you also have to consider the amount of working hours you are paying your team. Let's say your team is able to do a project in 100 hours. That means you are paying them for those 100 hours. Now when you switch to BIM software, which is non-fragmented, unified way of working, probably same project, same team will be able to do in 60 hours. That means you are saving those 40 hours also. So you really need to do calculation of BIM costs and costs benefit. Right now I'm talking just the software point of view. If you need help of a Gujju, call me. So that is one thing, cost of a software. BIM is costly. So there is another aspect, that is cost of implementation. Now we often make this mistake that we think that purchasing BIM software and installing it in the system is done, dusted. That's the only thing and best thing we can do. We have switched to BIM. No. You switch to BIM the day there is a proper gel of BIM workflow with your workflow. Your workflow, how your organization works and how BIM works in principle, and when you gel, merge both of them, that is your real BIM implementation. So there is another cost component of BIM implementation also. Now I can help you on that also, how to derive what is your implementation needs. First of all, do you need to switch to BIM or not? If you need to switch to BIM, what is the vision? Just because my friend is using some software, I also switch to that software. That is wrong way of switching to BIM. Then BIM will be costly for you. So you can connect and we can have a discussion on this, that how to take a look at this entire cost thing. But from where I see, or the documents I have, or the research I have done personally in connection with so many organizations, architecture, interior design, construction firms, BIM is not costly. BIM is not costly. Your phone is costlier than switching to BIM, and for a simple reason, you are using your phone. There is a deterioration related to your phone. There is depreciation. If you purchase a phone today and you want to sell it after 6 months, your price will decrease. But BIM is philosophy, is your way of work. If you implement and if you improve your way of working, eventually your team, you will get more and more mastery in that direction. So there is no depreciation involved there. Anyways, it's a software. So in softwares, there is no depreciation. Hardwares have depreciation. We can have a different finance of BIM kind of a session very separately on. But just to break your misconception that BIM is costly, no, BIM is not costly. It is not at all costly. It's value addition. It has got value. It has got price tag. Everything in life has got price tag. It has got value. It has got price tag. But costly or not costly is, you cannot just generalize that BIM is costly. The last and the final misconception is switching a software is coming to BIM. My consultant told me he is using this software, so I purchased that software so that we are doing BIM. Switching to a particular software, switching to a particular software is not going BIM. Going BIM should be driven by your vision for your own organization, not by the vision of the software company who is selling and claiming that my software is BIM and my software is only BIM and BIM is only my software. No, that should not drive you. Your vision for your organization, your vision for your team, your vision for what is the benefit of BIM should drive your decision. With all these misconceptions, I am sharing another link in the caption which you can follow, read, where we have mentioned, I have written top 9 misconception of BIM. Obviously it's an old blog, but it is still contextual even today. With all this, those who have still not subscribed, do it. Like, subscribe, follow, share, do whatever you want. I'll keep sharing content because I love to connect and share knowledge. Thank you all from BIM Man. Goodbye.